All right. Well, hey, welcome to The Reset. I'm Anthony Bailey, or CBS47, and joining us is our co-host extraordinaire, Rici Bell.
Rici Bell.
Got a chance to meet Rici last week. You all that follow us, and we're excited.
Very excited.
Episode 1 of The Reset.
Yes.
We talk a lot about kind of resetting your physical health and your spiritual health.
Relational health. Psychological health.
Yeah, it's
financial health. Yeah.
We've got a great guest with us today who's going to help us kick things off. And so right now, I'm going to let Rici do the intro. She's quite knowledgeable about our guest. What can you tell us about this week's guest?
I can tell you lots of embarrassing things, but I won't do that. I'll just say that this man was born and raised here in Fresno, California. He is a consultant. He is a mentor. He is a school psychologist. He is an ordained minister. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a friend. He's one of my best friends. He is my blood cousin. We share the same DNA. But more than anything, like, he is a really great conversationalist. If you want somebody to listen well and speak well, Chris Pennywell is the man. So welcome, Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Hey, welcome to The Reset. We are happy to have you here. Of course, thank you so much for joining us on this morning. Let's dive in. We're going to talk about some great issues here over the next half hour. So, in fact, Rici, we'll let you kind of kick us off with the first question.
Okay. So we really want to unpack the dynamics of relational health. So we can speak of that in two different ways, right? We speak of it as interpersonal relational health or intrapersonal relational health. Why don't you start off by just telling us what's the difference between interpersonal and intrapersonal dynamics?
Well, the thing is that before we even go there, I think the best thing to do is to always break down the word relationship. The key, think about it. What is the key word to relationship? It's to relate. So interpersonal is how we relate to others.
Okay.
And intrapersonal is how we relate to ourselves.
Okay.
And here's a kicker. They're both interconnected.
Right.
How you relate to yourself does impact how you relate to other people.
Right.
So,
but why do you think it's so easy for us to immediately want to look outward, though, and say, you did this, you did that. When you said this, it hurt me. When you said that, it triggered me. As opposed to saying, Rici, why am I triggered by what was just said? So why is it easier for us to do the outer work and not the inner work?
That's a multifaceted question, but I'll say this. I'll leave it at this. The way it's easy for us to do that. It's easy for us to look at that other person because we don't understand that a lot of the issues and problems that we do encounter starts from the inside. We are of the belief that it starts from the outside. I've seen plenty of people who will say, oh my God, these type of people bring the worst out of me. The key word, though, the worst out of me.
Right.
Exactly.
It's in me. It's just that certain situations triggered that and brought certain things to light. Yeah. Now, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. And that's where we have that problem, because we have a problem confronting ourselves, because in some weird message, we believe in many cases that just because we have issues and traumas and wrong coping mechanisms and stuff like that, we believe that makes us a bad person. Okay. You know, you can be a good-hearted, well-meaning person and still have some triggers and things that come out, and you're like, oh my God. We don't like to confront that because we think, issues equals bad. I'm a bad person. And it's like, no, that's not it. It just means that you're human. Yeah. It just means you've been wounded. It means you've been hurt, and you react in certain ways that you think that makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
So tagline for our show really is, are you okay? We're really trying to talk to people and find out, are they good with where they are? So many people don't know how to identify these types of things. So we're going to drill down a little bit, and we're going to start off on the relationship side of things. This is married, dating, in
single.
A committed relationship. And then, we want to spend some time drilling down on the single section for sure. Talk to us about the signs of a healthy relationship. What does it feel like to know that your marriage is healthy, or that the person that you're dating, that you're in a healthy relationship?
What it feels like is there's a feeling of growth. Now, with growth, and I know that doesn't sound sexy, right? It doesn't sound sexy.
Growth.
But what I mean by that is that you're both growing together, and with growth is discomfort. And I think going back to certain images and mindsets, I think when it comes to relationships, we think if it's supposed to work, if it's supposed to be great, that means hardly no issues, no discomfort. But the thing is that the person that you love and you're going to do life with, it's going to be discomfort.
How long have you been doing life? Speaking of that,
21 years, going on 22 in July.
Wow!
Congratulations.
That's huge.
I know we got married at 5. You know?
Let's talk about honesty in relationships. Can we talk about not lying?
I know, right? That's a huge thing. That's huge.
It is.
That's
my
huge.
God.
No, that's a huge thing.
Wow.
You know, but there's a lot. There's healthiness in areas where there's empathy. There's
Empathy.
adaptability.
Okay.
Because you are not the same person. I know I'm not the same person that I was when now that I was when I walked into my relationship and my marriage. I grew, I evolved. Certain things that I liked then, I necessarily don't like now. Certain things, you know, I'm a different man in a sense. I mean, the core of me, I'm still Chris, but I've matured, I've evolved, and so if we don't have that if we don't have that adaptability to where we're saying, okay, I'm going to adapt, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to adjust. We're going to adjust to one another. Not one, and it doesn't work if it's just one person doing that.
Right.
It doesn't work where it's just saying, no, you need to adjust. You need to do it. And there's plenty of people that have in those relationships. No, you need to adjust. You need to adjust to me. No. We need to adjust to us for the survival and the thriving of our relationship. And there's a lot of people who have a very hard time with that. They have a very difficult time.
That's good.
With adjusting and saying, okay, no, you're worth it. We're worth it.
That's good. And it goes back to the interpersonal and the intrapersonal dynamics, right?
Yeah.
So you talked about growth, you talked about empathy, you talked about adaptability. What are some other signs of a healthy relationship?
Money is good.
Say that twice.
Look, hey, I'm not even going to say it in front, because the thing is that you don't have to be rich.
Wow.
You do not have to be rich, but the thing is that you have those things, have the adaptability, the growth, the empathy, the love, all that good stuff. You have to have that, but also you have to have finances. One of the major things where
Some sort of resources.
One of the major areas where people get divorced a lot of times is because financial instability and, you know, in financial lack. And it doesn't mean that, you go through a hard time, but it's like, okay, if we're for the last 10 years, we're living paycheck to paycheck, and it's extremely stressful times. That is difficult to really focus on one another and building, because a lot of times you're in survival mode, trying to keep, quote unquote, from keeping the flood from coming in, you know. And when that happens, you're not thinking about how can I be a better husband. You're not thinking about that.
You're trying to keep the lights on.
That's
You're trying to keep
exactly
the light, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're in survival mode. So like that. I mean, you know. So money. You know that, and then also friendship. Oh my God, this is underrated. You have to have a friendship. I didn't realize how much that meant to me. Because you know we got our friends. We all have our friends, but it's good. Think about this. Think about the friends that we have. Some of our closest friends. Sometimes we don't always agree. Right. But most times we come together is because we always finding different ways to relate. We're always finding different ways to stay connected. We're always finding infinity. Yeah, and just staying in that. So think about how many couples. I'm just talking about married couples or even dating couples. How many times where we have been together, and those things that brought us together, because we're growing, we evolve, are not as strong anymore. They're not as strong anymore, and so all of a sudden the friendship is gone. And when that friendship is gone, then you're like, okay, you don't relate well to much one another. I mean, you know, how many ever seen older people? Think about this. How many ever seen older couples? It's like they walking around like they're professional roommates.
Professional roommates.
That's deep. That kind of brings to mind another question, kind of in that same vein. What do the different sexes need from each other in the relationships? Because you're talking about not being friends, keeping the fire going. Like, what is it? Because I find being married that, like, I need something different from my wife. From a clinical side of things, what is it that you all think that you need for your spouse?
Well, we're built, male and female, we are built differently as far as according to our needs. And so, now, don't get me wrong, some of them are similar, but they're always usually different on the priority list. I use with women. Women are built to number one priority is to be loved unconditionally, just, it doesn't matter if I got slob on the side of my mouth or
Speaking from experience
I'm in a certain process. This man loves me, and he will protect me. He got me. It's that safety.
Is top tier.
It is top tier. You ask
Safety.
the average woman where she is and what she needs, it's safety. That's why you see a lot of these women, even who are not in relationships, but they had a lot of bad relationships, but they're in that place where sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes we've seen some masculine women that's coming out with these masculine things. And what I mean by that is that because they're trying to protect themselves. It's that strong feeling of, I need to feel safe. Right. And if you're not going to make me feel safe, I'm going to do everything I can to make me feel safe.
Right. I mean, even from a clinical perspective, when you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the base need is safety.
Yep.
Before belonging, before love, it's safety. If safety is not at the foundation of this relationship, the belonging, the love, none of the rest of it matters. Am I safe with you, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially? Am I safe with you? So you're spot on with that. You're spot on with that.
I remember I was at Fresno State about 2 years ago. I was at the October. They had the Super Saturday, and they had me bunch of teenagers. Bunch of high schoolers and some college students. They're all there. It's like by the hundreds. I had 2 sessions, and it became standing room only. And what I taught on was, are you safe?
Interesting.
And I use it about that at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I was talking in connection with our young people, that how that connects with their academic performance.
For the non-psychology folks in the
room,
break that down.
I know, right?
Because I love a good rule and I love a good framework. Break that down. Like, what's the theory of that, and where does it stem from?
Oh, you talking about the Maslow? It stems from the human need. It comes from the root of us. The root of us is to feel safe. All of us, male, female, all of us, we want to feel safe. We want to go in a room and not feel like somebody's going to attack us, talk about us, or make us feel terrible, or make us feel shamed. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we live in a world a lot of times that's just not that safe.
Right.
So it hits at our portion of it. So when we don't feel that way, when we don't feel safe, the best of us can't come out. The best of us cannot really come out. When you're in a group of people that perceives you to be less valuable, no matter how much value you have, that value is not going to come out. It's unfortunate, And so safety is key. We need to feel safe in our relationships. We need to feel safe when in any area. I can tell you, I'll be honest with you, even though I try to be consistent across the board, there are certain people who get much more of me because I feel safe.
Right. That's
all right,
good.
That's a deep concept.
So with the physiological needs at the base, air, water, food, shelter, safety, right there, you're saying that if I feel safe with you, you are going to get the best of me.
Yes.
And then the belonging and the love and the social, like all that other stuff comes. That's so good.
Yeah.
If I feel safe with you, you will get the best of me.
I love that.
Can we put that on a t-shirt?
Oh, yeah, seriously.
And this is true. Now think about this.
Wow.
Now this is just my belief. This is nothing that I got from psychology or anything like. This is just simply my belief by just interacting with
living.
Living and interacting with the world.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to put this on psychology. I'm just going to put this on me. Yeah. This is what I believe. I believe that there's a part of our mind that if it's like there are treasures on the inside of us, like brilliance on the inside of us.
Yeah.
That it only comes out in safe places.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the moment, now there's a base level of us that can come out, no matter what. There's a base level. But the moment, I believe that on the inside of us, our mind senses that this is not safe.
Right.
It's like it shuts the door.
Right.
Let's dive into those a little bit. What are some of the stressors that we see that trigger that door to close?
That's good.
Dishonor. That's number one. Dishonor.
Unpack that for us.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll unpack
seriously.
that.
Tell us
Talk
more.
about dropping a bomb.
Tell us more.
Dishonor is a key that will shut things down. Dishonor is when I look at you and everything about me tells you that I don't value you.
Wow.
I can act like I value you, but it comes from if my heart doesn't value you, if in my heart, from my core, I look at you and I estimate. Let's say I look at Anthony Bailey. And I don't believe this. I believe a whole lot more about you. But let's say I look at Anthony Bailey, and
does he really? That came quick.
You my brother. You my brother.
Oh my God!
Are you okay?
Exactly. I don't know. We'll find out here in a minute.
I think very highly of you. I think very highly of you.
All right. What you got?
But let's say I look at you and let's say I believe that, like, I just devalue you, and let's say we devalue people on levels of what we value.
Right.
So if I value money, let me explain.
Go back to money.
If I value money and money is a high priority on me, I look and see how much you make.
Right. That's good.
Okay.
If I value, say, physical stature,
right,
I look at your physical stature, what you wear, different things like that, and then I value that accordingly. If you don't have that, I devalue you.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Status, power,
titles,
influence. If I value that, and I feel like that makes a person important. So if I look at you and I say, okay, oh man, he works at Channel 47. Oh my God, he has Bailey Bites. He has, he has all these different things. I mean, and he has a podcast. He has all these great things. All of a sudden now, I look at you in a way and I value that. Like, oh man, he's valuable. But let's say you just Anthony Bailey. Let's say you don't have all these things. Now, all of the great things that's inside of you already is there.
Right.
But the world hasn't seen it yet.
Right.
But let's say I'm just simply I'm giving you an estimate based off of what I think, what I see, and what I value. I'm like, oh, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. So therefore, in my eyes, he's not valuable.
That's real talk right there.
So then,
how many times have we seen that in the street from people growing up?
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
And having to figure out where we are.
Absolutely.
Figuring out our own value. That's deep.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That's
and
good.
so I begin to treat you like that.
Right.
My heart, all of a sudden now, my tone of voice.
Right.
I talk to you differently.
Right.
All of a sudden now, I talk to you with a certain level of condescension.
Yep.
Certain, and because in here, and we can feel it because we're more than just physical people.
Right.
We are intuitive by nature.
Yes.
So we're able to sense beyond what we feel. We know that. You ever have somebody say something, you're like, I didn't feel like it was like it hit you a little different.
I'm discerning something a little there. Yeah. It's a little
shade
off.
coming your way there.
Yeah.
So dishonor.
You didn't say that the right way.
You didn't. It's like, but dishonor sets the stage for a person just only getting the base level.
Wow.
That's
base level.
good. That's
really why
good.
sometimes people have to move out of town. People have to go into certain other environments where people honor who they are and honor the gift or honor just what they bring, and then all of a sudden you'll see that person bringing out the best. You'll see that just in sports. Let's use sports for example. Everybody understands sports. You'll get one guy on one team and he's on the bench and he like, oh man, he's not really getting much playing time, this and the other. So he gets traded, goes to a team, is like, hey, we can use you.
Right.
You bring this, you bring that.
And
next thing you know, he's an all-star. Now everybody want him.
Isn't that crazy how that happens? We've all seen that happen in
Yeah.
our favorite sports teams and other things like
Well,
that.
environmental factors matter when we're talking about relationships and safety and honor and dishonor and all the other things that can help build a relationship or break a relationship down. So give us some more. What are some more stressors? What are some other things that we could probably be looking out for so that we do maintain healthy relationships? What are some other stressors? Not having money.
Seriously.
That'll do it.
Got to make sure that job is right, that career is right.
Yes. Stressors, outside influences.
Unpack that for us.
I definitely unpack that. Outside influences like outside relationships. It could be sometimes family members. It can be influences from friends. It can be the male or female influence, the opposite sex, all those different things. Those are definite stressors that can keep can keep you where you're not building. You're now focused on all
Can we put a pin in that for a quick second right where you are and pause it, because I got a question for you about that. Outside influences, let's talk a little bit about the friends, because we're going to talk about single folks here in a couple of minutes, but let's talk about the outside influences of the couple. How friendly can you be? Where is that line drawn at for friends in your area? And when it relates to couples and relationships?
I think at base level, I think any relationship that highly honors and respects your primary relationship. And I'm being specific because you may get some people like, well, I got a side chick. She honors my. So let me, you
didn't expect to hear that one this morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Crazy.
Are you okay?
Right. Seriously, we all got to ask ourselves that. For sure.
People are crazy, but I'll say in any relationship that honors it, and it goes beyond that. I know sometimes people go there, but like even like, okay, I have a lot of friends that I've been knowing for years.
Yeah.
Sure.
They, not only do they honor me, they honor my wife.
Yes.
They honor my relationship. So
that's right.
They would, even though I don't roll like that. I love my wife, like for real.
For real. Not just
She's
on paper.
a sweetheart. We love her.
Yes, I love my sister cousin, Shinoba.
I love her.
Hey, Shinoba.
I absolutely love her. But also the thing is that the people that sit in my life, if I love her, they'll love her. And
That's
what
right.
I mean by that, and they'll love us as a dynamic. So even if I say I just went crazy one day and decided to try to do some things that was dishonoring my marriage, they wouldn't go for it.
Right.
Where does that line, for people at home watching this right now,
Right.
where are those parameters, not necessarily just for you, but where do the friend parameters sit at when you talk about outside influences? Because that's a real deep
Right.
thing.
Yeah. What are those boundaries?
Yeah.
As far as boundaries, and I'll be honest, that kind of depends on the couple. Some couples that I've talked to, some couples are fine with the male or female dynamic. I have male and female friends. I have primarily male friends. But every female friend, my wife knows who they are.
Right.
She knows who they are.
Right. Right.
She knows all
And there's
type of things.
nothing weird if they were to
nothing
see you
weird.
two
No,
together.
no.
They're not going to just speak to you and then not speak to
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't allow it.
Right.
Oh, let's talk about that for a minute. That sounds interesting. I like
that's a
that.
slippery slope.
And not just even with friends of the opposite sex, but even with family members.
Yes.
Like if your brother just speaks to you and doesn't speak to me, doesn't acknowledge me, then how do you navigate all of that?
Well, number one, I keep everybody out of my business.
Smart
That's number
move.
one.
Smart move there.
Listen, there are moments and times you're going to go through things in relationships. It does not matter. The thing is that I've learned this. I had to learn this. When you're angry, be quiet.
I like
When
that
you're
nugget
frustrated.
right there.
Be quiet. Get perspective. The first thing I want to do, I'll speak for myself. First thing I want to do is complain. The first thing I want to do is speak how I feel. The problem is how I feel is going to calm down. It's going to change, but I'm going to be left with what I said.
Wow.
Let's put a pin in this for a second here. We're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to come back and continue with Chris. But we're going to shift over because we talked a lot about relationships. Now we're going to dive into the single side of things, and let's look at how people are impacted by that, and maybe look at some tools and things we can share with folks on how to continue their single lives and how to move on the relationship side. You are watching The Reset. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back because we want to dive into the single side of things. We're not done yet. So for those of you all that, of course, are watching this episode, definitely thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 1.
Episode 1.
This is going to be continued. We're going to continue the single section of this next week, so you guys will definitely want to join us here on our CBS47, KC24 Plus app. And Chris is going to stand by, and you guys hang out, and we will see you all next week.
Next week.